Hey, Steelers fans! Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the latest news, deep dives, and insider analysis on everything happening with our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Today, we're focusing on a hot topic heading into Week 11, the injury concerns surrounding Jaylen Warren and how it impacts Sunday's showdown with the Baltimore Ravens. Before we jump into the details, let's take a moment to appreciate the grind. Our Steelers are constantly pushing to improve, adapting week after week, all in the pursuit of greatness. If you love this team as much as we do, make sure to smash that like button to show your support and help spread the word. And don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates. Let's get into it. It's official, running back Jaylen Warren has been ruled questionable for Sunday's clash against the Ravens. The third-year back, who has been a critical piece in the Steelers' backfield rotation, is dealing with a back injury that surfaced late this week. Warren played through the entirety of last Sunday's game against the Washington Commanders without any visible issues and was even on the field during Mike Williams' game-winning touchdown. However, he sat out Thursday's practice and was limited on Friday. The injury raised eyebrows, particularly since Warren was seen on the sidelines holding a football, a nod, perhaps, to his critical fourth-quarter fumble against Washington. For Steelers fans, the concern is real. Warren has been a productive and versatile weapon, especially against the Ravens. In 4 career games against Baltimore, he's racked up 160 rushing yards and 94 receiving yards, totaling 254 scrimmage yards, second only to his performances against the Browns. The good news? Najee Harris is ready to go. The Steelers' lead back suffered a minor ankle injury last week but has bounced back with consecutive full practices. Harris is primed to carry the load on Sunday, but it's clear the Steelers will need depth behind him. So, who steps up if Warren can't suit up? The Steelers have a couple of options. Jonathan Ward, who's played in 4 games this season, and Aaron Shamklin, who's seen action in 3 games. Both backs are on the practice squad and could be elevated for the Ravens game. While neither has Warren's experience or versatility, they'll need to be ready to contribute in what promises to be a physical AFC North battle. The Steelers' injury report heading into Week 11 has been a mixed bag. Jaylen Warren, back, questionable. Najee Harris, right ankle probable. Michael Pruitt, knee doubtful. OLB Alex Highsmith, left ankle out. Pruitt's absence could impact the Steelers' blocking schemes, especially in 2 tight end sets, while Highsmith's absence leaves a significant hole in the pass rush. However, with TJ Watt and others stepping up, the defense will aim to remain dominant. The Steelers are gearing up for one of their toughest tests of the season. The Ravens are a juggernaut on offense, leading the league in points per game, 31.8, and rushing yards per game, 182.6. With Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP level and Derrick Henry bulldozing defenders, Baltimore's backfield is a two-headed monster that's hard to contain. Steelers defensive coordinator Terrell Austin summed up the challenge perfectly. Lamar is a 2-time MVP. He's had 3 perfect passer ratings this year. He gets better as he gets more seasoned in the league, and that's what the great players do. For Pittsburgh, controlling time of possession and establishing the run will be key. That means Harris, and potentially Warren, if healthy, will need to be at their best. The Steelers' offensive line will also need to bring their A-game against a Ravens front that excels at disrupting the run. Let's not underestimate what Jaylen Warren brings to the table, especially against Baltimore. His dual-threat ability has been a thorn in the Ravens' side. Whether it's breaking off chunk runs or catching swing passes in the flat, Warren's versatility forces defenses to stay honest. Without him, the Steelers lose a critical weapon in their game plan. Harris can handle the Lions' share of carries, but Warren's absence would put more pressure on Pittsburgh's receiving core and force offensive coordinator Matt Canada to get creative. While Pittsburgh has its injury concerns, the Ravens are no strangers to adversity. Baltimore head coach John Harbaugh dismissed any talk of past matchups, saying, "We don't live in the past record. None of that matters. It's the next game." But let's be honest, Steelers fans, the Ravens would be relieved if Warren can't go. He's been one of Pittsburgh's most consistent contributors against them, and taking him out of the equation would make their defensive preparation much easier. This isn't just another game. It's Steelers versus Ravens, one of the NFL's most intense rivalries. At 7-2, the Steelers are in prime position to take control of the AFC North with a win. Baltimore, sitting just behind Pittsburgh, knows what's on the line. This matchup is about more than records. It's about grit, determination, and proving who's the top dog in the division. For Pittsburgh, overcoming injuries and executing the game plan will be crucial to maintaining their lead in the AFC North race. Former NFL safety Rodney Harrison stirred the pot on Friday with a statement that's got Steelers fans buzzing. During a discussion with Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk, Harrison didn't hold back in his assessment of Steelers star running back Najee Harris. Here's what he said. "I think Jaylen Warren should be the starting running back. Najee Harris, when he runs, he looks like his legs are heavy. He looks like he's running in sand at times. Every now and then, he'll give you that energy, but for the most part, I'm starting Warren as my running back." Wow. That's a bold take, especially when you consider Harris's consistent contribution since being drafted in the first round back in 2021. Let's set the record straight. Najee Harris has been a cornerstone of the Steelers' offense since day one. Over his first 3 seasons, he's rushed for over 1,000 yards each year, a feat that's not easy to accomplish in today's pass-heavy NFL. Harris's 2024 stats tell the story of a dependable back who gets the job done. 157 carries. 645 yards. 4.1 yards per carry. 3 touchdowns. While those numbers might not scream MVP, they showcase Harris's ability to grind out tough yards in a physically demanding AFC North. And let's not forget his versatility as a pass catcher. Whether he's bulldozing through defenders or making plays in the open field, Harris has proven he's a complete back. Now, let's talk about Jaylen Warren, the undrafted gem who has quickly become a fan favorite. Warren brings a different style to the backfield. He's explosive, shifty, and capable of turning small openings into big gains. Harrison's praise for Warren isn't entirely unwarranted. Warren has delivered clutch performances this season, adding a spark to the Steelers' offense when needed most. His emergence as a reliable backup has taken some of the workload off Harris and given the Steelers a valuable 1-2 punch in the run game. But let's pump the brakes on the idea that Warren should outright replace Harris. As good as Warren has been, he's also had his share of mistakes, including a costly goal line fumble in Week 10 against the Commanders. Adding fuel to the fire is the Steelers' decision earlier this year to decline Harris's 5th-year option, leaving his future with the team uncertain. By not picking up the option, Pittsburgh passed on the chance to lock Harris in for 2025 at a guaranteed $6.79 million. Instead, Harris is set to become a free agent after this season. For a player who has consistently delivered for the team, the move raised eyebrows among fans and analysts. Was it a statement on Harris's performance? Or simply a financial decision in an era where running backs are undervalued across the league? Harris, for his part, has taken the challenge head-on, using it as motivation to prove his worth. Despite battling behind a banged-up offensive line, he's remained a steady presence in the backfield, showcasing his resilience week after week. Let's address the elephant in the room. Is Rodney Harrison's critique fair? On one hand, it's true that Harris hasn't had the breakout year many hoped for. His 4.1 yards per carry is solid but not spectacular, and he hasn't delivered the jaw-dropping plays that often define elite running backs. On the other hand, context matters. Harris has been running behind an offensive line that struggled with injuries and inconsistency. He's also been the centerpiece of a run-heavy offense, which means defenses often stack the box to stop him. Despite these challenges, Harris has continued to deliver when it counts. Head coach Mike Tomlin has always emphasized the importance of depth, and this year's backfield is no exception. With Harris as the lead back and Warren providing a dynamic complement, the Steelers have a duo that can adapt to any situation. Tomlin's mentorship has been key in helping both players thrive, creating a competitive yet supportive environment that brings out the best in each. Looking ahead, what's next for Najee? As the Steelers enter the most critical stretch of the season, Harris's role will be more important than ever. With AFC North rivals looming on the schedule, Pittsburgh will need its running game to control the clock and set the tone in physical matchups. Harris has shown he can rise to the occasion in big games. Now, it's up to him to silence the doubters and prove why he's still the heart of the Steelers' rushing attack. So, Steelers fans, what do you think? Can Najee Harris carry the load if Jaylen Warren can't play? How much will Warren's potential absence impact the Steelers' chances against the Ravens? Who do you think should step up in his place? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your insights and predictions. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all things Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Steelers!